Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. I want to take you to this place of understanding this really important concept that it isn't about faking it. It isn't just about all of that. You know what it is? It's about being it. Be it till you see it, as opposed to fake it till you make it. Now, Mary Kay Ash apparently said this. Mary Kay Ash of the Mary Kay's Cosmetics. And if you know her bio and know her story, I mean, she had some rough stuff going on. She did. I'm not going to tell you her whole story. Easy to find on the internet. But she came out of poverty. She came out of some hard times, and she was determined to create this brand, and she did. And you remember the women, I don't know if they still do this, running around with all the pink Cadillacs everywhere. Those were Mary Kay cars. Remember, we had one in our neighborhood. And, I admire all of these women who've made decisions over their lives to, I'm going to do this and I'm going to, get it done. And I think fake it till you make it really comes down to an original quote from, one of the Stoics, Aristotle. And here's what he said: to be a virtuous woman, you must first act like a virtuous woman. Now, of course, when I always see these man things, I always change it to woman. Once upon a time, it was all spoken to women. Women were second-class citizens. They were basically chattel. They were owned. It's not like that anymore. So I think it's time that we attribute these lovely quotes to all of man and womankind. So that's why I always do this, because I think this applies to all of us. To be a virtuous woman, you must first act like a virtuous woman. So what I know is this, that confidence comes out of genuine accomplishment and work. When you do the work, when you act and do, and you do all of these things, then you certainly do become it. When you be it till you see it. And that is really true with one of my goals. I've shared this one with you. I am an athlete. I still, at my age and what have you, don't have an athletic body. Although I will tell you, a woman who came and was helping me with a project. We were doing a big, massive cleanup here, and she and her husband and her worked together. And she asked me how old I was and all of this. And she said, well, your body doesn't look like a 60-something-year-old woman. And I don't know what to say about that, except, I'm an athlete. I'm an athlete. I am not perfect, but I am excellent. I can, I will, and I do every single day. If I were in a lineup with a bunch of athletes, would they pick me out and go, they'd go athlete, athlete, athlete. Would they pick me out and say, oh, she's an athlete too? Probably not. But I am an athlete in heart, mind, body, and soul. I am, because I am strong. I am capable. I am able, and I do. I reinforce that daily with something, because that's who I want to be. I show up, and therefore I do. Now, this whole idea of just pretending would mean that I'd put on my exercise clothes, and by virtue of the fact that I have, some barbells and hand weights and a bike and a few other things, if I just walked into that room and just said, I'm just going to fake it till I make it, and I didn't get my butt on that bike and I didn't pick up those weights, would it happen? 100% not. That's a pretend. That's just like, you can't put on the t-shirt and be it. You can't put on the t-shirt and, whatever. You got to get in there and do it. The doing is the thing that changes everything, that moves the needle, that changes your life. Amy Cuddy said, and she was the author of this book called Presence. And it was all about how standing up differently and putting your shoulders back differently changes your body's chemistry. I taught this a while back in Take Back Your Life. Take Back Your Life, one of the first ones I ever did back in 2017, I think. And it was about standing like Wonder Woman with your shoulders back, your hands on your hips, the commanding presence that you put forth, and how it does change the way you feel. You know, your mother ever say to you, stand up straight, chin up? I remember in ballet class always is just, your teacher coming back by and just tucking in your butt and doing this to your, to help you stand up straight. But I learned confidence in ballet from this necessity for excellent posture. You hold yourself a certain way. Holding yourself a certain way doesn't change who you are, but it changes your body's chemistry and it changes how you feel about yourself. That's not faking it, that's doing it. Does it get you to the place of perfection right away? No. But will it ever? No. Will it get you to the place of excellence? Of course. And right away. Because when you stand up and you're holding up, you feel completely different than when you're all slumped over and just, putting your chin to your chest. So and Amy Cuddy also said, don't fake it till you make it, fake it till you become it. And I still take a little bit of, I take a little bit of an issue with that because I feel like we miss the part about pretending, charades, masks, faking it. There's so much of that right now in this world that I feel I just bristle when I hear all of that. I don't want part of that. I see enough of it. The whole world is full of these, influencers with filters and all kinds of garbage going on. And I don't want to live with a filtered view of the world. I want to live with a view that's real and true. And I know you do too, because I want to live in a world of my own making. I want to be living in a world that I get to create with my own hands through my own hard work, through my own life. It's just that simple. And I can't do that if I don't show up to do the work. So, remember your mother saying, well, just put on a happy face. How about that one? That was something our mothers did, not because they wanted us to not have a true and real, genuine experience in this life, because it was what they were taught. And I believe we hand down our trauma essentially to our children of just pretend everything's okay. Hey, if you've got a happy face, if you're smiling, it doesn't matter if inside you're dying. That was kind of the culture of the day back then. We know better now. We know from mental health professionals, they tell us that's garbage. It's complete crap. And we don't want to do that because, listen, faking it is phony. It's phony. I could show up, I could put a filter on I don't know if I could do it, but I could do it on my phone. I could put a filter on here and make me look, I'm 30 years old. But that's phony and fake. I want you to see me for who I am. Yeah, I'm going to put some makeup on. I don't want to see you to see me like that. But I'm going to tell you right now that who we are is the woman who needs to show up so she can become the vibrant woman that she is called by God on purpose and for purpose to be. Every single woman on this planet has that call on them. Every single woman on the planet has that call on them, on purpose and for purpose, or there's no reason for you to be here. This purposefulness then means that there is a call on our lives. Do you want someone to pretend with you? Do you want someone to hang? Have you ever been with a friend and you just think, oh, they're not really quite friends. They're just kind of phony baloney people. When I was Caroline was a kindergartner at Covenant Day School. This is way back when in Charlotte, North Carolina, and the school was brand new. And she was obviously young, and this is before we got into homeschooling. You had to line up and, we got on the wait list, and then just right at I was number 2 on the wait list, so we got in. So it was great, even though I had to spend the night, you know, in line trying to get my daughter into this little school. But I did get her. She did get in, and I was ended up being the parent, the teacher, or whatever, the mother of the classroom mother, or whatever. And I was doing all kinds of stuff. And my hope was, because we were fresh off the boat from California, that I would make some new friends. I wanted friends. I wanted women. I wanted support. I wanted other people. And what I found was a homeroom mom. Yeah, I believe me, I was a homeroom mom. And what I found was this weird thing, and let me just say this is not a put down of the South, okay? But it's a Southern thing that happens, as you hear about the Southern hospitality. And in California, somebody says, hey, let's get together. You're exchanging phone numbers. You're getting together. And I had a lot of women like that, just, oh, you're Leanne, thank you. Oh, I'm so glad you're the homeroom mom. Thanks for doing everything. Da, 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 blah, 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 blah. Let's get together. And I never got together once. And I was always like, yeah, let's get together. And I was so excited. And I would come home and I'd think, oh my goodness, we're going to get together. We had a roster with everybody's name and with phone numbers and everything in there. My phone never rang, ever. Not once, not one time. And I can't tell you how many of these moms said that to me on the regular. Not one phone call. Yeah, I could have turned around and reached out to them, but I was massively insecure. I didn't understand what was going on here. I'm basically raised in California, and here I am in this brand new land, in North Carolina. I came here sight unseen and just getting my, sea legs, so to speak. And that phoniness of this fake hospitality, if you want to call it, it really hardened me a little bit. It did. And I just thought, who wants this pretend business? Who wants that? But what I know is this: if you want to grow, and if you want to become the vibrant woman that you've been called to become, because that is our calling in life, by the way, all of us, every single one of us, to live our lives as fully as we possibly are capable of doing, then our call to action isn't faking it anymore. It's instead to be all you can be, and to be it until you can see it. That's what it is. You're not going to look like an athlete the minute that happens. You're not. When you decide to become an athlete, you don't all of a sudden go from, losing the weight. And you don't lose the weight overnight. You don't get the muscle overnight. You have to work for it. You become it. And that becoming takes a minute. It doesn't happen instantaneously. There's work involved. There's sweat involved. And you know what the difference is? The difference is when you fake it, you don't have to show up. You just have to pretend. But when you're going to when you be it, which is, I know, improper grammar there. But when you're being it, then you're doing it. You have to do something in order to become it. You can't wish it into existence. So, being that person means that you show up. You don't pretend to show up, you don't just talk, you do. And, this is the thing. And I have seen this on repeat right here in the social media blogosphere, if you will, metasphere, to quote Mr. Zuck. And that's this: fakers can't fake their way to the truth, but you can see a lot of faking. There's a lot of filters out there. There's a lot of, oh, I'm doing all of this. And there's a lot of, here I am putting on the happy face. I'll let you see this corner of the room, but the rest of it, not happening. It's true. That is the whole truth of what it is. It is fake book. Exactly, Terry. It is so true. So fakers are going to fake it. Faker's going to fake, right? Faker's going to fake. And we are not going to ever get ourselves to that wish list of what it is that we want in our lives by faking it. But if we start doing it, we will start becoming it, and we will see it show up in our lives. So can we make an agreement right now with the pinky up thing? Can we agree that faking it till you make it's not going to work, and that's a pile of dog pucky? Can we do that? What we want to do is we want to become. We want to become. That's where all the magic is. That's where this wonderful stuff blooms. So how do we do this? We do it as if, right? You might not get exactly where you want to be right now. You might not get to where you want to be right now. But I will tell you this, you will get there eventually if you just stay the course. That consistency is going to save your bacon. That consistency is going to hold your feet to the fire. And that consistency is going to pass through and go over, under, or through the I don't want us. The I don't want us always show up, by the way. I mean, I don't know anybody who just says, oh, presto, done. Not true. There's anguish that goes that's involved. Am I right? It's never going to be doing. So you might not get exactly where you want to be, but the more you do, the better you get at it, and the more you become it. And becoming that's a present tense thing. You know, it's not a one and done thing. We become as we go. It's not like you're baking a cake. You know, you don't just mix up the raw ingredients, throw it in the oven, and take it out when it's done. We're not done. We're not turkeys with I'm going to just keep going with the cookie analogies here. You know, the turkey with the poing, it's done. Nope. That's not going to happen. But I know that when you do it as if you're an athlete, then you are going to start creating that athletic mindset. I know that because I'm doing it myself. And there are days, I've had weeks where I was just like, it didn't show up the way I wanted to. But my framework for showing up, you know, is every single day of showing up and doing something. But some weeks, it's fantastic. It's on point. It's just like, bada bum, bada bum, bada bum. And then there are other weeks, little things throw me off, little things. But then I'll get in there and I'll just say, you know what? 4-minute workout right now. Boom, let's just do this. Let's just do this. It's just such a thing. But you know what I have noticed is not only do you need to show up, not only do you have to do as if, you also have to think as if. And that's the biggest deal for me. It's the biggest deal because how often are we able to have this rapid departure from what it is that we want because our thoughts are not in alignment? You know, what would my higher self think of this, you know, particular situation? Would my higher self just ditch this entire thing because I didn't do it perfectly when I first woke up? This is why I like to start the day off well. Started off with a fast, started off with the hydration station set up, started off with meditation, started off with journaling and writing in your journal, started off with some coffee and some reading, started off with a smoothie when it's time to break your fast. When I do all of these things, when I stockpile my emotional and mental capital into the beginning of my day, the rest of my day seems to just fall into place. How about that? It's one of the things that I've learned. You know, it was just like a happenstance that I finally learned this. Learned it. I have to start the day off well. But if I don't have to catch up either. I just need to pick up and go where we are. That is it. That is it. That's what our higher self does. We think our way into the life that we want to live. Because our mindset changes. Our mindset changes. And I've been doing a mindset shift for myself because I have been having this scarcity mindset about certain things like, oh, well, this can't happen because of this. And it was the abundance I seek is also seeking me, and I release any blockages between us, which is so critical. And I'm finishing up finally my vision board, because the vision board is what brought me here to this place right now today. The vision board, having the visual of it, that's how you become. is because there's a lot of senses involved. There's a lot of stuff involved for you to become as if. So the big, vibrant vision that you are casting for yourself and for your life, you know what it is? It's to live a genuine, full, beautiful, vibrant life. Am I right? Isn't that what you want? When we do this and we live wholeheartedly like this, then we get to have the opportunity to create it. Because that is the mindset that we have to have around it first. We have to have that abundant mindset. That's what we're seeking. It's also seeking us. The vibrancy you want is also seeking you. You just need to open the door and say, here I am. I'm ready for the vibrancy. Yeah, I'm ready to roll up my sleeves. Yes, I'm ready to do the work. Yes, I'm ready to receive all that's out there. Do you think God is just looking and saying, how much can I keep from her? How much can I make her life just misery and hard? Or do you think he's saying, just ask, man, just open the door, ask. We have hot desires and we get emotional about the things that we want for a reason, because that aligns us up with really the whole way that we think and also understanding truly what it is that we want. So when we get emotional about that, I remember when I was 11 years old, you don't even know how much I wanted a horse. Do you? Anybody else there who was a horsey girl? I mean, I wanted a horse so bad. I would go to bed at night. I would lay in my bed. I would cry about wanting a horse. And I remember my little girlfriend down the street, this little place that we went to where we'd go riding horses. And it was just like we'd save up and we'd go riding horses. Well, she ended up getting a horse that she could lease for like $50 a month. And she worked for it so that she could lease this horse. And I remember the horse's name was Tara. I remember all about it. I cannot tell you how envious I was. And I kept asking them, when I'd go to the stable, I'd say, well, do you have any other horses that need leasing? And that was just this one, I want to do it too. I wanted so much to be a part of that whole horse thing. It didn't happen for me. And right there, that was like the dashing of the dreams when I was 11 years old. But then again, I went into puberty and boys suddenly became interesting. We were just in love with horses at that. I think every girl's just whatever. I would picture after picture of horses with pastels that we would draw in school. But my hot desire has changed a lot since then. My hot desire is less for having something it's more about experiencing and being something. It's more about bringing along as many people as I can to see this vision of what I see for all of womankind, right? A vibrant, mission-filled, incredible life on purpose and for purpose. Not just bikinis and, looking good with the filtered Instagram thing and all that superficial garbage. Fake it till you make it. That's what that is. I want you to be it. I want you to see it and be it and genuinely experience that. That's the vibrant life that's waiting for you on the other side of your goals. What you want to be, what you want to accomplish in this life, all of it. Because when you act and make decisions as if you were that person, what do you think that's going to happen? You'll become while doing and believing all of that which moves you toward your goals. So what would an athlete do? How would an athlete eat? What would an athlete do daily? How would an athlete rest on the day that they're resting? How would an athlete hydrate? Questions that I would ask myself, that I do ask myself. Because if I'm going to be an athlete, then I need to do as athletes do, right? That's not faking it. That's doing it. So hear me on this right now. 3 things, what your goals are. Number 1, your goals are the energy that's behind all of what you want. You don't do it just by wishing upon a magic star, right? You don't do it just by laying in bed and crying as the tears fill up your ears and say, I just want a horse. When we were children, we acted as children and we did things as children, didn't we? Right? Now that we are grown, we put away childish things. And the childish thing of wanting that, what that taught me was that it isn't enough to just wish for it. It's not enough to just ask once for it. You got to go out there and work for it and seek it out. And I will tell you this, that it's seeking you out too. Do you hear me? What you want is seeking you out too. Put it out there. Put it out there. Allow your brain, this magnificent machine that the Lord God himself created in you and gave you as a gift, is there to help you out. It is. It's the truth. But your goals are the energy behind all of this, because otherwise, what is it? Just shooting off the hip all over the place? No, that doesn't work. How about this? Your goals are the framework so that you have a launch pad, so you know how to go about and get them. I want this. What does that look like? What's the goal? What's the timeline? What's the everything about it? You start answering those questions, all the hows will come. You don't have to worry about hows. You know what? You don't have to worry about, you know what you want to do? You want to worry about, and you don't even have to worry about, you just have to worry about showing up for it. Because your goals are the influence behind all of this, right? It's behind all of us. It's your belief system. It's the decision-making process. The emotional driver behind all of it are goals. And you know what? I'll tell you what. There are people, and I've heard them say, oh, I just don't like goals. I don't want to do that. I get it. I get that. But what if I told you that without goals, you're just going to be sitting there floating? You're not going to go anywhere. If you get in the car and you say, I don't know where to go, is your car going to just magically drive you to some destination? Or do you have to actually get in the car, turn on the keys, press on the gas, and go somewhere and know where you're going? Put on the GPS. That's a goal. My goal, once I get in that car, is to get to X, Y, and Z destination. It could be across the country or, down the road a piece, as they say. We need this. Exactly, Lucy. She said we need structure. 100% we need structure. Without structure, you don't build a house. Without structure, you don't have goals or a life. So fake it till you make it? That's as disingenuous as you can get. That's like mom saying, put on a happy face when you've got tears running down your face and I don't want your dad to see you like that. Put on a happy face. How about be it till you see it? That honors you. That honors your becoming. That honors the vibrancy that is on the cusp of who you are becoming, right? It's genuine, it's real. And I don't know about you. Are you ready? Are you done with the fakery? Are you ready for the real thing? I don't know about you, but I sure as heck am. Don't wait. Now's the time. Your life is waiting for you. You're vibrant, gorgeous, incredible, energetic, the life of your dreams, all waiting for you. Let's get on this. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.